Check. What's up, guys? Today's video is going to be a very exciting one for me, maybe not so much for you, but I was very fortunate enough to find a Lift 33 pretty quick, and that is what's in this box. So I've had it 2 days. I haven't even shot it. Cool, expensive hat. I haven't shot it. I haven't done anything to it. I've been waiting on the right time to make this video. It is the new Earth Color, 70 pounds, and this just, I'm sure you've seen other videos, but this bow is just stupid light, especially compared to my Phase 4. But I mean, just the cutouts and the riser, just all the machining is just, yeah, it looks good on the video, but if you got it in front of your face, it really shows just how much detail went into everything. Let's go through some specs. Everybody's been through their specs, so I'm gonna go through mine too. What's changed, what's not changed, let's see, starting off here, shot sense. Now this is a new app / device that goes in the grip, and it tells you all about your shot, your execution, your float, from my knowledge, everything, hold time, whatever, I don't know, whatever else it does. But the Phase 4 also had this technology. It just did not say shot sense on the grip. If you take the grip off your Phase 4, you will see a black little piece under your grip, and that's where that sensor goes in. But starting at the top, new cam system. I think this is called the SWX cam, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, XWX. The axle is now on top of the limbs. Wider limb pockets, riser that's just been butchered, but looks amazing. New match strings, they look great to me. Holding up side by side to the zebra strings on my Phase 4, there's definitely a size difference between this string and the zebra string. New cam, wider limbs, axles on top of the limb, shot sense. Let's see, that's about it, right? And extremely light. Let's see, I think this bow says 4.26 pounds with no dampener, and of course this little gadget here of the bridge lock screw, but that shouldn't weigh much. So let's just see what we're getting right here, just to be funny. 4.4. You can't see it, but you just gonna have to trust me. But if you take this dampener off and this bridge lock screw, I'm sure it's 4.2. It's just stupid light, almost being a half a pound cheaper. Almost being a half a pound lighter than the Phase 4 33. But before we can build this, I'm gonna strip down my Phase 4 because everything on that's pretty much just as new. So we'll strip down the Phase 4 and get the bolt and stuff on this. Phase 4 is stripped down. Let's put the, minus the peep, I'm gonna get that out in a minute. Put the grip, the Mathews engaged grip back on. Let's see what this bow weighs. If I can find my scale, it is. The lift was 4.4, I think I said. So let's see what we got here. 4.9. So pushing 5 pounds with the Phase 4 33. This was a great shooting bow for me. The lift just caught my attention like I didn't think it would. I told myself I really wasn't going to buy a bow this year, but with the lift coming out, I really couldn't help it. But enough of the small talk. Let me show you how I build a bow for myself, how I set it up, and you can do it too. Only thing you really need is a press. Anything else I got is pretty much not exactly needed. I'll show you how I set my sights up, how I get my axes right, and cam timing, everything like that. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, I probably should have done this before I took the peep out, but I forgot. I'm going to get a rough measurement of where my peep was at compared to my D-loop. So I'm looking at right at 6 inches. Alright, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get the rest bolted up. And this vise is actually not a bow vise at all. It is a bicycle vise for holding your bikes while you work on them. So, but I've been using it for a while. It works really good as a bow vise, and they were only like 40 bucks on Amazon when I bought mine. So it works great, as you see. There you go. All right, we'll go ahead and throw the rest on. This is just the old style QAD MX. I do not have the MX2, but this is just fine. What I am going to do is, where are you at? Of course, that's not the right size. Take this bigger cable out. This is just D-loop material, and I'll probably use this as D-loop material because I do like the brighter D-loop, being able to see it in low light situations and things like that. But what I have found in the past with using, and there's nothing wrong with it, D-loop material, I gotta find that. Found it. What I found in the past with using D-loop material or a thicker rope, this is actually, I mean, this is D-loop material too, but this is BCY 24 and this is 23. Could have those backwards, but you can see the 24 is just a little bit more flimsy, a little bit smaller in diameter, where this one is a little bit more firmer, I guess. So with running this through your cables, it's going to affect your cam timing just a little bit, and you may end up chasing a small wheeling back and forth, twisting cables up. So I'm going to use this smaller D-loop material for my rest, and that should help a lot on my cam timing. Chasing a fast cam or a slow cam. You know what I'm trying to say. Now, you know, on the Mathews there's an indentation on the back of the riser, a little line, and that just lines up with this tiny little line here on my QAD rest. Take your super small Allen wrench, line your QAD up. Alright, got that tight. You don't want to crank on that little guy because it will break. I have seen them break, and it's not a good feeling when you break a $250 rest. The MX2 may be more than that. So, find the right wrench here again. This is your big clamp. You can clamp on this guy pretty tight just so it doesn't end up going anywhere. There we go. Alright, rest is on. Let's go ahead and put this guy. I have a squaring tool, but I really don't like to use it as long as I can find my levels. I like to use my levels, and I'll show you right here in a minute how that works. Little tip on my serving, I like to put a little bit of wax on my serving. It just helps my knots stay a little bit tighter when I'm tying them, and I don't really have to hold them as much. I'm going to go on the top first just to keep that arrow from sliding up. What I'm going to do is just a double overhand knot. Take my level, put it out here on my arrow, and you can see there that I'm a little bit knock high. So bring this on down, Most of these Mathews, in my opinion, the bows that I've tuned, a lot of them will tune knock high. So I'm not exactly scared of it being knock high, I just don't want it low. Just barely knock high, so I'm going to roll with that. So I know my arrow is perfectly 90 degrees with the string, so I'm going to go ahead and finish my knock sets. I'm going to do probably, if I can get this a little tighter, 3 knots up on the top and probably 3 knots on the bottom. All right, now that we have that top knock set tied in, what I'll do is take the bow out of the bite vise and go ahead and put it in my press. Alright, I got the press just tight enough. It's not tight at all, it's just tight enough to hold the bow up here. Now I'm going to go back to my arrow, pop it in. This was my top knock set. So I'm going to pop it in, pop my rest up. Arrow's going to hang straight down, gravity's going to pull it straight down, and I'm just looking at it hanging, touching just barely on the rest. That looks good. Alright, grab some more serving material and come on the bottom of that knock and do the same dealio. Cut it and burn it. Now we're going to go in and tie the D-loop. Burn it on down. I'm going to create a nice little looking ball. Something like that. Let that cool for a moment. Now get ready to tie your D-loop. Bottom knot facing you, top knot facing away. For a right-handed shooter, this has always been kind of a butt kicker for me. So bear with me for a minute while I figure this out. And just the opposite on the other side. Now is just cut it down here. A lot of people say don't do this, don't burn it while it's in the tied position, but I don't listen. I do it anyway. But what I'll do is fluff it out like that. Find my lighter that I've lost for the 14th time. Kind of pull everything out the way and do it something like this. Let that cool for a minute. Give it a little bit of tugginess. Not too tight. That looks pretty good. But what I'm going to do, I'm not going to snug it down quite yet because I'm going to get my peep sight in here, and whichever way it turns, I'm going to leave this loose enough to where I can rotate it and everything lines up. Something like that. Pull up on your string. Make sure everything's in the track still. And everything looks good. I can see. There's some tension off. I'm going to have to tighten this up, being I know it's close. That should be good. Make sure your knot fits still pretty good. Still have some wiggle in there. Peep sight's looking pretty decent. So now I'm going to check timing before I put this in. I want to adjust all my timing, get everything right, then put this in. That way, if I'm twisting cables, I don't have to worry about this twisting around the cable if I have to add 2 twists in this down cable. Now that you're close like that, I don't know if you can see me. Let me make sure you can see me. Now that you're about roughly a 1/4 inch from your stops, always use your wheel to fine tune things. Make sure you go the right way. Alright, the top stop is just barely touching, and the bottom stop is ever so close. So maybe the cable, just putting this cable in will help things. And I may not need to do nothing, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so we're going to go to the down cable. Alright, that's good and slack. I'm going to take this rope coming from my wrist, just run it right through, pretty much right through the center of your cable, but you want to go through the cable on the grip side. You don't want that rope coming in and going through the side of the cable. I mean, I guess it don't hurt anything, but it just looks kind of dumb. Just right through like that, pull it tight. Look at everything back, make sure everything's in its groove. Good, good, good. Let her on down. Alright, back in the drawboard. Alright, barely touching right there. Yeah, I'm going to have to add a twist. Probably going to do a 1/2 twist. Off. See which way my cable's running. This that way, so 1/2 twist. Let off. Back in the drawboard. Just barely touching. I think we hit that one on the head, guys and girls. All right, barely touching. Barely touching. Okay, we're good there. Let's put our sight in. So for a while I've been running the HHA bracket or sight. Actually cut it off with my arrow saw here so it'll fit flush in the bridge lock. I recently started running UltraView. This is the UltraView 3-pin SEXL, and it's a super awesome housing. I think I like the single pin more, but this is just awesome 3-pin. You still have your slider, rotate, go to whatever yardage you want to go to. You have a bottom pin down there. Not sure if you can see it. You have a bottom pin down there for your long ranges, but and then this is just my 20, 30, 40 here. This is just an awesome scope housing, and I do like it. I just think I like the single pins better. All you would have to do to change that would be unloosen this Allen screw. This cartridge pops out, order their single pin cartridge, pops right back in, tighten the screw back down, and you're ready to go. Simple and effective. This slides right in. Let's see where I want to go. At 1, 2. Screw him right back down. Be easy because there might be some paint or stuff in these screw holes, and just want to make sure you're not cross-threaded. Grab an arrow here and just, I'm going to draw it back and check my peep height. It's going to have to be turned a little bit, but this will be the first time I've drawn this bow back with a release. So I'll tell you about the draw cycle now. It's just, alright peeps. Peep feels good right there. Draw cycle is much better. It's a little bit more stouter than the Phase 4, but everything just feels so much tighter. Even when you come to the valley, everything feels like you can tell she's ready to go. It's a little different at the back, but everything feels just more crisp, more tight, if that even makes sense. But I do like this draw cycle a little more. Where the heck is my scale? See what this thing's drawing at. It's got 70 pound mods in it. It feels close to 70. Let's see. $69.4. Back. It's a very good, clean looking tie, if I must say so myself. Alright, get the bars on here. I guess we can go ahead and tie in the rest cord, get the bars on here, and she'll be ready to shoot through paper. Light her up and mash it down. We can go ahead and peel this off, and I can show you. Ooh, that one's on there good. Just peels off, double-sided tape. Get all this good booger stuff off. Just look, all the holes they have drilled in here. Just there's a hole there, holes here, holes everywhere, just to save that next ounce. And they truly lighten this bow right on up. Get all these boogers off. Alright, and slide your I got my old style UD grip. Should slide right on, just like that. Pretty dope. Now, the bars. I run a 10-degree angle down bee stingers at the moment. This is a little tricky to get on because if you have it, it's got to be 100% straight with the riser, because if it's not, if it turns like that, your stabilizer is going to kick out to the side, which I guess you can play with for balance and stuff like that. Just walked out to the side. I'll straighten it up. Just a little bit of wax on the threads, because if you don't know, steel and aluminum, which I'm pretty sure this little bushing is aluminum, steel and aluminum will bind like no other. screw this guy in. I'm going to get this guy straight as well. Crank him down. If you don't grunt, it ain't tight. This guy goes in like that. And she is looking killer. Man, that's a good looking bow. Let's see what she weighs now. Do I have a problem losing stuff with y'all's at home? £6.7 pounds. I do know that bow I think was like close to 7.5, 7 3/4, but 7.5 fully loaded, or 6.7 fully loaded. Pretty dang light. I'm going to draw back real quick and look at my peep sight. Make sure I don't have to put a twist in the string before I shoot, which it really don't matter. Definitely have to put a twist in the string. Alright, we have a twist in the string. Peep sight's lined up. I found a feel point. And now, first shot out of the lift is about to happen. I absolutely hate paper tuning these 4 fletches because they just rip the paper so crazy sometimes. But we're gonna let her rip and see what happens. As long as I don't miss. That draw cycle was so much better. Not bad. We have a left here. So we have a point left here. It's not terrible. Let's shoot another one and see what we end up with. That was a lot better. Target like it fell off my table, but it is a little left. It is a little low. That's nothing we can't fix. I'm just going to click this to the right a couple times because I don't think it's going to need much. If I go over, if I need more than 3 or 4 clicks, I'll change the top hats. So right, 1, 2, 3. Let's do 3. Let's do 4. I can still see an edge of my 0 there. So get down just a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 4 and 4. See where that gets us. Let's see where we're at now. Okay. Perfect. 3-shot bullet hole. That's what we're looking like right now. So that is perfect. Now that that's done, I'm going to look at my axes again and just make sure that everything should be the same coming from a phase 4 to this. But I'm going to look at it anyway. I'm just going to do it the stupid simple way Get it level here. Look at my sight. Sight is yes, that's still good. And the way I do my third axis, you really need to shoot it in. But the way I do it is I'll put it in a vise and I'll take a 3 foot level, I guess this is, maybe a 4 foot, and put it against the limb pockets. Get the bow level and then come straight down, looking at your level, middle, middle, and then look at your sight, middle. Everything's perfect here. So simple build coming from a phase 4. The lift is just, I just don't know how they got it this light. This is just the main thing that I've really loved about this bow so far. The draw cycle is amazing. It does feel a lot less vibrant, not a lot less, but because the phase 4 was very dead in the hand, but I do feel a lot less vibration with this bow, and then it could be just me, I don't know, but it feels different. But anyway, I think this is going to conclude the video here. It went pretty good, went pretty swell. Wish I had a cameraman to really get in on me a little more, but that's the lift. It's a sweet looking bow. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to do, I have some stuff, I'm going to build my phase 4 back, and we're going to do a 33 lift versus phase 4 video soon. So that'll be very interesting to me. And look, I got some more videos in the works. I'm going to plan to load a lot more videos this year, so be looking for that. And if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe and hit the share button and help me get to 1,014 subscribers. No, but anyway, thank you guys for watching. This is going to be an awesome bow. Hopefully you see a lot of content of this bow, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.